to my channel. For today's class, you will need your 2 yoga blocks. If you don't have any yoga blocks, feel free to use 2 really thick books. If you don't have any props at all, that's okay too. You'll still be able to get the same experience from today's class. So let's go ahead and begin. Lay on your back in constructive rest pose. So your feet will be as wide as your mat. Your knees will just drop in towards one another. If they touch, that's okay. If not, that's okay too. Place one hand on your belly and one hand over your heart. Take a deep inhale through your nose and exhale side out your mouth. Let's do one more just like that. Deep inhale through your nose and exhale side out your mouth. Continue your inhales and your exhales through your nose. Taking this moment to arrive to your mat. Tune in to the inner body, your inner world, checking in. Take this moment to notice the quality of your breath as well. Take another deep inhale, and as you exhale, gently open your eyes. Walk your feet. Actually begin moving your knees in the windshield wiper motion. So you'll drop your knees to the right, and you'll drop your knees to the left. So as an inhale, bring your knees up to the center, exhale, lower to the right. Inhale, bring them to the center, exhale, lower them to the left. And just move through this motion on your own breath. Just gently waking everything up. Waking up our hips, waking up our spine. Don't need to move too fast. Move slower if you need to. Just try to match the breath with your movement. Good. On the next inhale, bring your knees up to the center. And so just let your knees drop to the left. And we're going to hold here for 3, 2, and 1. On the inhale, bring your knees up. Exhale, let your knees drop to the right. Stay here for 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, bring your knees back up to center. Walk your feet in so that they're hip width apart. Lay your hands to the side, palm down to the mat. And on an inhale, you're going to push through your heel and lift your hip up towards the sky. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. You don't have to go into the full bridge pose. We're just moving through some motions. Again, waking up our spine, waking up our legs, all of our muscles. Just beginning to warm them up. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. On this inhale, lift your hips and lift your arms up towards the sky. Exhale, lower everything back to the mat. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. You might have to move a little bit slower to sync your breath with your movement, which is fine. Let's do 2 more. Inhale, lift. exhale, lower. One more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift your hips and your arms up overhead. Exhale, lower your hips only, leaving your arms lifted overhead. Inhale, lift your hips, and exhale, lower everything down. We're gonna do 2 more, just like that. So inhale, lift everything up. Exhale, keep your hips, lift everything up. Exhale, keep your hips lifted, lower your arms. Inhale, lift your arms up, and exhale, lower. I think I got it backwards on the first time. So let's do 2 more, just to keep the balance, the equanimity there. So inhale, lift everything up. Exhale, lower your arms. Inhale, lift your arms. And exhale, lower everything down. Last one. Should we get pretty warmed up here? Lift everything up. Exhale, lower your arms. Inhale, lift your arms. And exhale, lower everything down. Good job. Okay, so bring your knees in towards your chest. Just move through a couple of hip circles. Remember which direction you are going in, because we are going to reverse our direction. It's a little mini lower back massage. On your next exhale, just roll over to your favorite side and push yourself back up to a seated position. Okay. Let's go ahead and begin warming up our shoulders. You can either alternate if that's comfortable for you, just like this, or you can come with me, and on an inhale, we're going to scrunch our shoulders up towards our ears, and exhale, let our shoulder blades roll down our back. Inhale, scrunch them up. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. And exhale, lower. Let's do the opposite direction. So inhale, scrunch your shoulders up and roll your shoulders forward. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Let's just do one more. Inhale, lift. And exhale, lower. Good. Bring your hands out to the side, just like so. Take your right fingertips, let those rest on your right shoulder. Left fingertips come to the top of your head. And on an exhale, you'll gently allow your left ear to drop towards your left shoulder. And we're going to be in a very gentle neck stretch. As you breathe here, if you want, you can begin to invite a little bit of a rolling motion. Or you can stay. On the next inhale, lift your head to the center, hands out to the side. Bring your left fingertips towards your left shoulder, your right fingertips to the top of your head, and gently guide your right ear towards your right shoulder. You're not using your fingertips to push down, they're just resting to provide a little bit, just a tiny bit of weight. This will allow you to get into a somewhat of a deeper stretch, allows the space for a deeper stretch for your neck. And again, you can roll through circles if that's comfortable for you. Good, come back to the center. Exhale, shake it out. Inhale, lift your arms out to a T. Stretch through your fingertips as if you're reaching, really trying to reach to the opposite sides of the room. You're going to stretch, 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 stretch. And we're going to stay here for 3, 2, and 1. Drop your fingertips so that they're pointing towards the mat and push to the tops of your hands as if you're trying to push towards the opposite sides of the room. And we're going to stay here for 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, point your fingers up towards the ceiling and push through the palms of your hands. Push, push, push. Really feel that stretch, especially in your wrist. And we're going to stay here for 3, 2, and 1. Take a deep inhale, exhale, bring it down, shake it out. Go ahead and roll over to your hands and knees. I'm going to move my blocks out of the way here. Hands are stacked right underneath your shoulders, your knees are hips width apart. And then just check. So you'll look through your legs here and check if you can see your feet. You'll want to move your feet out towards the sides of your mat so that your feet and your ankles are in line with your knees. Good. On an inhale, drop your belly, open your heart, gently lift your gaze into your cow. Exhale, roll your spine, pushing through the floor into your cat. Inhale into your cow. Exhale to your cat. Inhale. Exhale, round your spine, push the floor away to cat. Let's do one more. Inhale into your cow. And exhale, round your spine to cat. Inhale, come to a neutral position. Turn your hands so your fingertips are out, pointing towards the edge of your mat. And we're just going to move back and forth. Maybe move through some circles. Find that point where you begin to feel a little bit of the stretch in your wrists. We don't do a whole lot to strengthen or stretch our wrists when really, especially if you practice a lot of yoga, we should be giving a little more love to our wrists. And of course, be very gentle. This is a very sensitive place for many people. So just go to the point of where you feel that stretch and maybe not go up any further than that. All right, good. Come back to the center. Turn your hands. If you can stay where we were just at, or if you want to try, you can turn your fingertips so they're pointing towards your thighs. And we're just going to gently move back and forth. And if after a couple breaths, if you want, you can stop right where you feel that deep stretch all through your wrists and up through your forearms. You can stay there. I always loved, there's a love-hate with this stretch. It's a really hard stretch. It's kind of, you really have to take a moment to really breathe into this stretch. But I also loved it because it helped me notice some muscles in my forearms that I did not know that were there. It's really good if you are, especially a rock climber, we like to do the stretch as well. Okay, so on an inhale, turn your hands back towards the center. Stabilize yourself in your table. Push through your left hand, and on an inhale, we're going to lift our right arm up towards the sky, and exhale, thread that right arm underneath your left arm, and then thread the needle. Walk your fingertips up overhead, or you can leave it where it was at. But we're going to stay here for 3, 2, and 1. On an inhale, walk your left hand in, lift your right arm up towards the sky, and exhale, come back to center. Stabilize in your table, push through your right hand, and inhale, lift your left arm up towards the sky. Exhale, thread that underneath your right arm. You can stay here, come above fingertips if you'd like, or walk your right fingertips up overhead. And we're going to stay here for 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, walk your fingertips back. Take another big inhale, lift your arm up towards the sky, and exhale, come back to a regular tabletop. Have yourself stabilized. Step your right foot back, tucking your right toes. On an inhale, we're going to lift our leg and our left arm. Lift from your thigh and not from your heel. Inhale, lift your arm and your foot. I'm sorry, your arm and your leg. Exhale, lower. And we're just going to tap it out, okay? Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Lower. Let's do one more. Inhale, lift and hold. 3, 2, 1. Exhale, come back into your child's pose, first child's pose. Arms are stretched out overhead. Come up on your fingertips and let your head just drop towards the mat. 2 and 1. Inhale, come back up to your tabletop. Step your left foot back. On inhale, we're going to do the same thing that we do on this side, lifting the left leg and the right arm. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower, just tap it out. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. One more. Inhale, lift. We're going to hold here for 3, 2, 1. Exhale, lower. Come all the way back into that child's pose once more. Arms stretch out overhead. You can flatten your palms this time. Spread your fingertips. I'm going to stay here. 2 and 1. Inhale, come back up to your tabletop. Step your right foot back, tuck your right toes. Lift on an inhale, your arm and your leg. And exhale, we're going to round our spine like we did in cat. And knee and elbow come towards one another. So inhale, lift. Exhale, round. Inhale, lift. Exhale, round. Inhale, lift. Exhale, round. One more. Inhale, lift, stretch. Exhale, round that spine. Inhale, and exhale, come back to your tabletop. All right, we got to do the other side. So step your left foot back. Inhale, lift. Right arm, left leg. Exhale, round your spine, pushing through the mat. Inhale, lift. Exhale, round. Inhale, lift. Exhale, round. Inhale, lift. Exhale, round. One more. Inhale, lift, stretch. Exhale, round. Inhale, and exhale. Come all the way back into your child's pose. Walk your hands over to the right. You can stay like this, exhaling your hips towards your heels, or if you want to go into a little bit of a deeper stretch, stack your left hand on top of your right. Just let your head drop between your arms, making sure that your hips are resting back towards your heels. And we'll stay here for 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, come back to the center. And exhale, come to the other side. Again, you can stay with your palms apart. Or if you want to go into that deeper stretch, stack your right hand on top of your left. Stretching through, we're looking for that side stretch through the right side. Let your head just drop between your arms, hips back towards your heels. And we're going to stay here for 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, come back to the center. Grab one of your blocks. We're going to go into our hero's pose. So I would recommend taking your block if you have it. It's going to be the wide length apart. I don't know what you want to call it, but take that, set that in between your heels, and come back and sit right on it. We're creating a seat for our hero's pose. Right? This is especially nice to sit on if you are having any discomfort in your knees. So take your other block. We're gonna take that through the flat side, just like this, right? Take your palms on the outside, stretch them out in front of you. Now double check as you do this that you're not arching your lower back. You wanna keep a nice stable back. Strong core, if you wanna get that, activate your core a little bit just to help you stabilize. But bring your block straight out in front of you so it's parallel to the floor. Palms on the outside, and you're gonna squeeze it as if you've ever crushed an aluminum can. I know some people do this, but if you're trying to do like crush something this way, that's what we're gonna do. So hold this block out in front of you and squeeze. And we're gonna stay here for 3. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. 2. And 1. Inhale, lift it up, your block up towards the ceiling, not all the way up. You want to make sure your shoulders are not coming up towards your ears, but squeeze that out. Keep squeezing. For 3. They're shaking, that's good. 2. And 1. Keep your squeeze and exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. And exhale, lower all the way down. Good job. Shake it out. Shoulders, biceps, everything should be fired up right now. Come back off of your block. Come to hands and knees, tabletop. And we're move through 3 rounds of cat-cow. So inhale, drop your belly, open your heart. Gently gaze up. Exhale, round your spine. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. And exhale, round your spine. Lower your head. Inhale, come back to center. Tuck your toes. And lift your knees. Just your knees so it's hovering over the mat. All right, find your stability here. And we're going to stay here for 3, 2, and 1. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, lower your knees. Inhale, move through cow. Exhale, as you round your spine, you're going to lift your knees. Inhale, cat. Inhale, cow. I don't know why I keep calling it cat. Exhale, cat. Knees lifted. 2 more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, round. Last one. Inhale, lift through your cow. And exhale, round the spine, lifting your knees. Inhale, drop everything to the mat. Come back to your child's pose. Leave your left arm extended to front and bring your right arm back towards your hip or your heel. And just really try, as you are here in your child's pose, breathing, stretch through both hands. Stretch opposite sides of the room. Now we're going to stay here for 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, look forward and switch. We're going to stay here for 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, look forward. Come back up into your tabletop. We're going to keep moving through our crazy looking cat-cow stuff we've been doing. So tuck your toes, and on an inhale, we're going to lift our knees. Actually lower, I'm going to show you guys first what we're going to do. So on this cat-cow combination that we're going to do, we're going to come up, we're going to have our knees lifted, and we're going to tap opposite knees to opposite arms. So try to aim towards the bicep area or your elbow. You don't have to touch, but just have your knee going towards where your bicep, your arm is at, okay? So hands on the knees, tuck your toes, lift your knees. Inhale, right knee to right elbow. Exhale, step. Inhale, left, step. Right, step. Left, step. Right, step. Left, step. left. Let's do 2 more. Right, left, right, left. All right, 1 more. Right, left. Stay here, hold. 3, 2, 1. Bring everything down. Inhale into cow. And then exhale, come back into your child's pose. Inhale, come back up. Tuck your toes. Lift your knees. On an inhale, we're going to move our hips up and back into our downward facing dog, but with our knees bent. All right? Inhale, lift. And then exhale, we're going to lower. Keep our knees covered. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Keep your fingertips wide apart. Inhale, lift. Pushing through palms of your hands. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. And on this last one, we're going to inhale, lift, and hold in our downward facing dog with the bent knees. All right? Really push through your palms. Hips up and back. Your belly is going to lower towards your thighs. Let your head just drop between your arms. Now stay here. For 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, look forward, and exhale, come all the way back down into a quick child's pose. All right, inhale, come back up into center. We're going to step right, step left, back into our plank. If you don't want to come all the way up into your plank, you could stay on hands and knees, puffing up your upper back and really pushing through, working on your shoulder strength there. You're coming with me. We're going to step, back into our plank. And all we're going to do here, let's hold here first for 3, 2, and 1. And on an exhale, we're just going to drop our right knee towards the mat. Inhale, lift. Exhale, drop your left. Inhale, lift. And we're just going to move like this on our own breath. Really firing up our shoulders. Let's do 1 more each side. Exhale, lower right. Exhale, lower left. Inhale, come up. And exhale, come all the way back to your child's pose with your hands back by your heels. We'll stay here. 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, come back up to hands and knees. Come back. Give yourself some space because we're moved into our puppy pose. Feel free to tuck your toes if that's easier for you. But your knees are hips width apart. And you're going to keep your hips stacked over your knees. And just walk your hands out in front of you till you cannot move them out any further. And as you walk them forward, you're going to feel your chest drop towards the mat. And that's what you're looking for. So find your puppy. You don't have to go very far down. You can also use a block if you'd like to come down to rest your chest and your head on, if you want to try that. But whatever you do, keep your hips stacked over your knee and lower down into your puppy pose, resting your forehead on the mat. Find your puppy, and we're going to stay here. 3, 2, and 1. Tent your fingers, come up on your fingertips. All right, this is a little bit of a deeper shoulder stretch. You don't have to go here. You can keep your hands flat if you'd like. But let's stay here for 3, one. Flatten your palms if you tended your fingers. Look forward and slide through onto your belly. And we're going to come up into our Sphinx pose. Elbows are right underneath your shoulders or slightly in front. Forearms are pressed into the mat. Fingertips are wide apart. And as you inhale, you're going to feel the sensation as if you're pulling the mat or the floor towards you. And as you do that, you're going to feel your chest open, right? And we want to do that. Try your best to not clench your butt cheeks, right? We want to allow just a tiny bit of a back bend in here. If you need to clench for your lower back, it's more comfortable for your lower back, by all means do that. But find your Sphinx. And we're going to stay right here for 3, 2, and 1. Exhale, lower to the mat, walk your hands back. Inhale, come back to your hands and knees, tuck your toes. And let's move up into our first downward facing dog. So inhale, hips up and back. Fingertips wide apart, pressing through the palms of your hands. And I want you to take this moment. Don't worry about heels touching the mat. They may never touch the mat, and that's okay. But you have your hips up and back, and just think of your torso dropping towards your thighs. But with this being our first downward facing dog, you can walk your dog out where you're bending the opposite knee and straightening the other leg. Right? You can bend, walk your dog out. You can sway. Just do whatever motion arises in your body, allow for that to happen. Right? Just kind of warming everything up. For some of you, this might be a brand new pose. So, just want to introduce this downward facing dog to your body. Find a moment of stillness. Fingertips wide, shoulders roll down your back. You don't want your shoulders up towards your ears. Press through your palm. And then to practice the motion of your heels lowering to your mat, lift your toes and lower them. Lift them and lower them. Lift, lower, lift, hold, 2, 1, and exhale, let them go. Just think hips up and back. Again, your heels may never touch the mat. That is perfectly okay. All right. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, drop to your knee. And come back into a really quick child's pose. Inhale, look forward, come back up, grab your blocks. Have them shoulder width apart. Hands will be flat on your blocks. And you're going to essentially tent your fingers, or not tent them, but you're going to basically squeeze your fingertips so you can find stability on your blocks. And we're going to lift up into our plank on our blocks, all right? You'll notice you have a lot more space here. So find your plank, and we're going to hold here for 3, 2, and 1. And on an inhale, we're going to lift our right knee towards our, right knee towards the center of our chest. So it's going to look like this. Inhale, forward, exhale, back. Inhale, forward, exhale, back. Start to move with me. Inhale, forward, exhale, back. All right? We don't have to move fast. We're just firing up our core again. Having a strong core is really nice to have when you're practicing a lot of yoga. All right, one more each side. Inhale, lift. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower your knees. And come back into a child's pose on your blocks. Inhale, come back out to the center. step into your plank, and exhale back into your into your downward facing dog. I know we all love child's pose, but let's go back in our downward facing dog. And you'll notice, being on your blocks, you have a lot more space, and you might notice that your heels will lower more towards the mat. As you're here, start to feel that stretch in the back of your thighs and your calves. Think hips up and back, chest towards thighs. Inhale, look forward, and we're gonna lift our right leg up towards the sky, and exhale, step it through in between your blocks, between your hands. Lower your left knee to the mat, untuck your toes. You can keep your toes tucked if that's better for your balance. Inhale, lift your arms up towards the sky, and as we exhale, we're gonna lower into our half split. So you'll straighten your front leg, come up onto your heel, or you can play with flattening your foot towards the mat, depending on where you want that stretch, right? Move your blocks where you can comfortably rest your hands, and you don't have to round your back, lower it down. We're just gonna lower towards our leg, almost as if our chest is lowered towards it. But find your half split. It really doesn't matter what it looks like, as long as you're feeling a good stretch. No pain. Discomfort's okay, especially if this is a pose we're not really doing a whole lot. You're going to feel a little bit of discomfort because your body is wondering, what the heck are we doing? But straighten that front leg as much as you can. Bring your right hip back towards the back of the room so it's in line with your left. Your left hip is essentially going to be stacked over your left knee. And let's just stay here for 3 more breaths. So 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, come forward. And you come all the way back into your plank, step. Exhale, back into your downward facing dog. Gotta do the other side. So inhale, lift your left leg, and exhale, step your left foot in between your hands, dropping your right knee to the mat. Untuck your toes or leave them tucked if that's best for you. But we're gonna find our half splits on this side. So straighten your front leg. Come back so that your right hip is stacked over your right knee. Straighten your left leg as much as you can. Toes up towards the sky, or you can play with flexing your foot and trying to flatten your foot so that the bottom of your foot is on the mat if you want a different stretch in your ankle, on the top of your foot. Sometimes just moving your foot, it feels really, really nice. But find where you want to be today for your half split. Pull your left hip back towards the back of the room so that we're in line with our right hip. You can untuck your toes, or you can leave them tucked for stability if you'd like. The hands are flat on your blocks. And let's just stay here for 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, come forward, bending your front leg. Just come back to your hands and knees tabletop. Let's move those blocks out of the way. And now we're going to move into our plank without the blocks. So you guys can feel, you're probably feeling a lot stronger. So step back into your plank. Probably feeling a lot stronger. And notice the space now that we have created in our plank. Let's just stay here for 3, 2, and 1. Lower your knees, come all the way down to your belly. Let's move through into our Sphinx. Elbows underneath knees, or elbows underneath shoulders, hands, fingertips spread apart, flat. Push through your forearms. All right, so 3, 2, and 1. Lower towards the mat. Walk your hands back. Come back in to your tabletop, tuck your toes, and come back up into your downward facing dog. And let's stay here in our downward facing dog, probably feeling very strong, a little bit more space. Fingertips wide, push through the palms of your hands. Beat our hips width apart. Hips up and back, towards the back of the room, towards the sky. You can have that slight bend in your knee. That's perfectly okay. And to remember to love our bodies and show that love by adding in these modifications. And with practice and over time, you might find that your downward dog, you're able to go a little bit deeper into it. Push through the palms. Let your head drop between your shoulders. Your shoulders are rolling down the back of your back, opening up to leave space for your neck to freely move. And your gaze is in between your toes and your knees, or at your belly button. If you're really practice this pose a lot, you might be able to look at your belly button. On an inhale, we're just going to look forward, and so we're going to bend our knees, and then push back. Push our chest towards our thighs as much as we can, okay? And let's just stay here for 3, 2, and 1. Exhale, lower your knees, set yourself up to your puppy pose. Get into your puppy, and drop your head towards your forehead, towards the mat. This should feel a lot more comfortable than our first puppy for sure. And let's stay here for 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, look forward and push your hips back towards your heels into our child's pose. Bring your hands back towards your heels, and let's lower into our child's pose, and we'll stay here for 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, look forward, come up to your hands and knees. We're going to come back onto our back now. I hope you guys are feeling a little bit stronger than you did at the beginning of class. Come back, lay on your back. Just bring your knees in towards your chest, and let's move through some hip circles. Give our lower back a little bit of love here. Just move in one direction for a few breaths. And then do a couple of breaths on one side and switch directions. On your next exhale, just drop your feet to the mat. Have the hips width apart. Grab your block, and we're going to be on the medium height. And on an inhale, you're going to push your hips up and bring your block so it's right at the bottom of your back, so your lower back, so right where your butt crack starts. All right. And if you get it in a good juicy spot, you'll know because it's really comfy. Of course, you don't have to do a supported bridge. You can just practice. You could hold your bridge, or maybe practice lifting your hips and lowering them like we did at the beginning of class. But if you have a block, you can go ahead and get yourself into your supported bridge. And you can stay just like this, or you can gently roll your shoulders under with your palms up towards the sky so that you can have a little bit of that heart opening, which is really nice when you are taking those deep inhales and deep exhales, which we are going to do as we lay here, rest here for a few breaths, just to slow things down a little bit, to calm the nervous system, to bring our heart rate down a little bit. Close your eyes and take this moment to tune back into your inner body. You can do a quick body scan if you'd like. Let's just rest here for a couple of breaths. Now you can stay here, or if you like, on an inhale, you can lift your right knee in towards your chest, and then your left knee will meet, and you can straighten your legs up towards the sky. If you got your block in the right spot, it'll be really easy to get into this position. You can try to guide so that your heels are almost stacked over your hip, but just find what works for you, because this is a really nice pose to really calm our nervous systems down a little bit. You can always stay in your supported bridge if you like, but we'll stay here for a few more breaths. Take another deep inhale. Exhale, bend your knees in towards your chest. And then gently set them back on the mat. Inhale, push through your heels, lift your hips, and move the block out of the way. Lower back down to the mat. Move this out of the way. Bring your knees in towards your chest. Move through a couple more of those little back circles. Or hip circles, massaging your lower back. Hold on to your right knee, and then exhale, extend your left leg out long in front of you. Take a deep inhale, and exhale, gently guide your right knee towards the left into a supine twist. You can use, I'll show you on the other side here, I have the fireplace over here that's actually supporting my knee. So if you don't have a fireplace like me, you can use your block to let your knee just rest on the block. And it's really nice to do that because you're supporting your body as it situates itself in this pose. And after a couple of breaths, you'll notice everything just to begin to relax into the stretch. And it's a really nice stretch to be in, especially in a restorative, calming way like we are doing today. Let's just stay here for a couple of breaths and close your eyes if you'd like. On your next inhale, gently guide your right knee back towards the center. Bring your left knee in to meet your right knee. Hold your left knee, straighten your right leg. And on an exhale, gently guide your your left knee towards the right. And you can either let it rest on the ground, or this is where you can take your block. And you figure out what works best for you. I would not recommend this height unless you really need it. You know your body better than I do. So you can have this height, or you can have it the medium, which is really nice sometimes, especially if you're feeling tightness in your hips or your knees, feeling a little finicky, or you can come on down to the lower side. So you find what height works best for you. And to deepen the stretch a little, you can scoot your right shoulder towards the right. But just find your comfortable supine twist. Find your comfortable spot and just let your body just relax into this pose, just to drop into it. And we'll just stay here for a couple of breaths. On your next inhale, guide your left knee towards the center, bring your right knee in towards your chest. And take this moment to really squeeze everything out. Anything that was left over that we did not burn through to dispose of, because you know yoga is also a detoxifying practice. So if you still got some stuff in there, this is where we're going to squeeze it all out. So on an inhale, you're going to lift your head up in towards your knees and give yourself the biggest hug ever. We're just going to squeeze everything out. And then exhale, you're going to lower your legs, straighten them out. Let your feet drop out to opposite sides. Bring your arms down along the sides of your body, palms up towards the sky. Checking that you don't have anything blocking your way. Gently roll your shoulders under just to open up that chest a little bit more. Take a deep inhale through your nose. Exhale, sigh out your mouth. One more just like that. Deep inhale through your nose. Exhale, sigh out. Releasing any leftover heat that we have built up in our bodies. And just continue inhaling, exhaling through your nose. Close your eyes. Quiet your mind. Quiet your body. And take rest in Shavasana. Begin to deepen your inhales and your exhales. One deep inhale through your nose. On your next inhale, begin to invite movement into your body. Wiggling your fingertips, wiggling your toes. You can roll your wrists out. We did a lot of wrist work today, so that might feel good. You can roll your ankles out if you like. Inhale, stretch your arms up overhead, bring your legs in towards one another, and stretch towards the opposite sides of the room. This should feel really good. Exhale, bend your knees and roll over to your favorite side, resting your head on your lower arm, the bicep. And as you lay here, take a moment to really thank and honor yourself for taking this time to connect with yourself. This time to be on your mat, to breathe, to move, to get rid of unwanted feelings, unwanted emotions, and taking that time to show yourself some of that love. Take another deep inhale, another exhale. And on your next inhale, use your hand, push yourself up to a seated position. Try your best to keep your eyes closed if you can. Bring your hands to heart center in prayer. Let's take another deep inhale through our nose. Exhale, gently and quietly sigh out your mouth. One more just like that. Inhale through your nose. And exhale, sigh out. Continue gently inhaling and exhaling through your nose. Take this moment to tune back in. Notice the quiet in your body. Quiet in your mind. May you be happy. May you be peaceful. May you love and be loved. Namaste. Thank you everybody for joining me for today's class. I hope you are feeling extra strong, extra limber, or a little bit of flexibility built there for today. It's really an honor and something I really, really appreciate being here on the mat to guide you on even a little part of your journey. And I will continue to create more of these classes for you to build up the strength and teach you some things that you can practice on your own at home, and to show you that yoga truly is for everybody. Doesn't matter the size, the shape, it really doesn't matter. It just matters that you are taking the time to come to your mat and moving and breathing, and just taking that moment for yourself. Because when you take that time to truly connect with yourself, you learn to love yourself even more. And when that love and that goodness is built up inside of you, you are able to go out into the world and share that love and that kindness
the rest of the world. And so we know that love, you know, all of those bad emotions and feelings that nobody likes to feel, those spread very quickly, but we also know that love is stronger and can spread a lot quicker and a lot more through the world as well. So go out there and shine that bright light of yours. And I also wanted to let you know as well, just to check the description notes below. I am going to be creating some classes that go along with these foundation classes that we will be practicing. If you follow along with these videos, those I will be teaching live. So if you want to come and practice with me live, I'd love to meet all of you. Practicing these foundation classes, the classes I'll be teaching live are a little bit more of a flow base, so we might move a little bit quicker, but if you are practicing these videos, it will be a piece of cake, it'll be a lot of fun, and we'll have that sense of community that we all are always looking for, pandemic or not. It's something we all want and all need, whether we want to admit it or not. So I hope to see you all at some of those classes. Check the link in my description below. It will have my schedule and a way to sign up for it. Otherwise, I will see you guys here on the mat for our next class that we will break down and explore, continue exploring new poses, all these crazy yoga poses. We'll explore those together. So thank you again, and I will see you all very soon.